In school, from the earliest age, we're taught about evolution, the Big Bang, and the idea that we are an insignificant sandcorn in the vast expanse of the universe.
Okay, that last one we're never taught. And as for evolution and the Big Bang, they don't get into those until high school, if not college. Not from the earliest age. Also, this is clearly an AI voice, so I'm sure no one minds if I use another one to remove the music.
It's a narrative that can make the existence of God seem very unrealistic.
No, religion does a good enough job of that on its own.
But what if this narrative isn't the whole truth? What if our existence didn't begin 13.8 billion years ago with an explosion?
It didn't! That's not what the Big Bang says! Once again, if you're not even gonna bother to understand what the theory says, why should anyone listen to you when you say it's wrong?
What if our timeline actually starts with Genesis? Maybe they promote this narrative to push you away from God? The following things that I'm about to say are very controversial, but I am a soldier of God, and as long as I am here, I won't stop spreading His word.
Well, that's good to know. I'll always have something to make videos about.
The world is run by the devil.
Oh? Where is he? Where's his office? Does he have a cabinet? How does he issue his orders?
And the ruling class are devil-worshipping Satanists.
No, they're not. They're pretty much all Bible thumpers. Look at how many opportunities they'd take to shove their religion into our faces or inject God into everything they can.
They see themselves as gods, and they want you to believe that too. Then they give you puppets to worship, which seem very smart.
It's unbelievable that this guy made this video while Biden was president. Their puppets never seem very smart.
And you start to believe them.
There is no God. No one created the universe, and no one directs our fate. This leads me to a profound realization. There is probably no heaven, and no afterlife either. We have this one life to appreciate the grand design of the universe. And for that, I am extremely grateful.
Okay, I thought I knew where this video was going, but now it's going off the rails. If you gotta resort to a fucking Wojak meme, you don't have any actual response. It doesn't matter if we believe people like Hawking or not. What matters is if we believe morons like you. You are the ones claiming there's a creator that directs our lives and there's a heaven and everything else. You're making the claim. You need to prove it.
If you ignore the guidance of the Holy Spirit, then you're easier to manipulate. You become a pawn in their game, blindly following their agenda without questioning it.
Then how come people start rejecting your religion the more skeptical they become? The less likely they are to fall for manipulation, and the less likely they are to blindly follow people.
But if you believe in God, then you have morals and you worship Jesus Christ only. This makes you hard to control.
Wow, ignoring history much?
So if you are watching this and you don't believe in God, ask yourself, in which team do you want to be in? In the demonic team of Satan or in the godly team of Christ?
There aren't any teams. The question is invalid. Why would you think this would in any way convince unbelievers?
If you don't want to be in the team of Satanists, then you need to stop being ignorant.
You're the only ignorant one I see right now, Pally.
I don't expect you to believe in God instantly, but at least be open for the possibility that your worldview might not be the right one.
Back at ya.
This is the biggest step into becoming a believer, because now your identity changes one step closer to the godly side. You are no longer an atheist anymore, you are agnostic now.
Wait, hold on. You just said acknowledge that it's possible, but you can say something is possible without believing in it. I mean, are leprechauns possible? I guess so. I can't say for sure they're 100% impossible, but I still don't believe in leprechauns. One more time. Atheism is about belief. Agnosticism is about knowledge. They answer two entirely different questions. Tell me this, if there were anything to your claims, why would you have to keep resorting to the exact same long-debunked fallacies?
You no longer rule out the possibility of God's existence.
Again, way missing the point. We don't have to rule out anything. You have to prove it. I think I should point out something at this juncture. This video was posted to the Lord Killian Discord by a fundy trying to convert us. He posted it as something he thought was convincing. So this isn't a straw man or me looking for low-hanging fruit or whatever. This is what they find convincing.
This means that you no longer rule out that your actions may have consequences.
What? What does that have to do with anything? Of course actions have consequences. What does that have to do with whether or not there's a God? You see what these people do? You see why we aren't convinced at all by them?
Which in some sense makes you fearful of God, and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Oh my God, where do I even begin? I guess the biggest point is, this is literal fear-mongering. Your whole point is that we should be afraid of God, so we turn off our rational minds and just do what you people say we should do, and then call it wisdom. What was that earlier you were saying about other people being blind followers?
From this point, I challenge you to a 30 days challenge. If you stick to this protocol, then I promise you that you will become a way happier person and your success will skyrocket afterwards. After this challenge, you won't believe how effective this was, and the only explanation for this will be God. So every time for the next 30 days, when you go to sleep, you try to talk to God.
You realize that a lot of us did this for decades before becoming atheists, right? It didn't work. Your challenge has been done, and it failed.
Mark 11:24 says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours."
And it's clearly wrong. Tons of people have prayed for things they never got, including cures for diseases that caused them to suffer for a long time before dying.
The most important thing is to be honest in your prayers because God reflects your heart. There's no point in lying because God knows anyway.
Well, then what's the point of it? If he knows you're only doing this because some schnook on the internet challenged you, he's not going to do it anyway.
If you do this for the next 30 days, then you will see a lot of changes. First of all, you are going to sin less because you will be ashamed to think about the sins every single time before you sleep.
Yeah, that's not at all sociopathic or anything. Once again, religion is completely dehumanizing. It makes you feel bad because you feel the same things every single human being has always felt. I mean, for crying out loud, his example isn't stealing or whatever, it's dancing! Something people have always done. And it's his job to make you feel bad about it. It convinces you that there's something wrong with you that only it can solve. A disease masquerading as its own cure.
Second, you will have random energy boosts and thoughts of gratitude throughout the day.
What the? Random energy boosts? Anyway, everyone has that and thoughts of gratitude. So pray and what'll happen is the same thing that'll happen anyway. Again, wonder why we're not convinced.
Third, you will see every bad thing happening in your life as a lesson, and you won't see yourself as a victim anymore.
Who says we do now? Speak for yourself, bucko. I'm just gonna let this next bit go on for a while.
Fourth, you will see yourself come closer and closer to the goals you put into your head. Fifth, after the 30 days, you will 100% believe in God because your subconscious mind is starting to catch up with your thoughts, and you will experience a strength and peace which you have never felt in your life before. Sixth, you will stop watching the news. You will spot evil agendas and nobody will be able to manipulate you. You will start to think for yourself, and you have finally got back to the guidance of the Holy Spirit. And last but not least, seventh, you will come back to my channel and subscribe because I changed your life.
Yeah, I'm really sure. So thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, leave a comment, and go to donate.bogosity.tv to keep me doing what I do. And check out all the great content here, like this video selected just for you.